Hey, good morning to you. Jesus is Lord. Simple, simple. Jesus is Lord. The devil's defeated. Thank God the word works. But you got to work it. We've been talking about suddenlies. God showed me first week of this year, that this was the year of suddenlies. Things are going to happen just like that. I'm talking about good, but you got to write the vision. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision. Make it plain. Write it out. Make it plain upon tables so that he that reads it, that's me, reading my vision, and I'll run with it. So I wrote mine out, 3 pages, been sharing that with you. Now I want to help you. Well, Pastor Frank, I need for my vision to come to pass, right? You know, some of that suddenly stuff needs to happen today. Hey, I understand that. What can I do to help it? I got up this morning early, cold, man. It's going to be 22 tonight, which is terribly cold here in Alabama. Now, some people, that's not even cool, you know, but it's going to be cold. I came in here, the house was cold, heat was on, but because it's cold, the house was cold, I said, I'd like me a good old fire. I said to the fireplace, give me some heat. The fireplace didn't do a thing. You're going to get that in a minute. I wanted a fire, so it's taken me a while because the wood's wet. We've had rain for the last 2 or 3 days, and so I had to go outside, cold outside, get the wood, which was wet, put it in the fire, start the kindling, which is the small part that you can no longer see because it's burned up. And I had to use the kindling twice. And then I had to put some paper up under it to get the fire to go because the wood was wet. I had to work at it because I desired the fire. I did my part. Now the fire is doing its part. Now, I also wanted to get me a cup of green tea. We have a Keurig machine over there. And I went over there and said, want a cup of tea? And the machine didn't even answer me, didn't do a thing. But I got the cup, I put the tea bag in the cup, and I pushed the button, watch now. And I am now enjoying what I did to get the Keurig machine and the fireplace to do what I wanted them to do. Now, watch this. I have a vision. It's my part to believe the vision. It's God's part to bring the vision to pass, but I got to write it out. If you don't write this out, it's just simply a dream. I could have sat over there on the couch. I do that. You see some of my programs. I've sat right over there on the couch and looked over there and said, "Whoa, I sure do wish I had a fire. Dear God, I wished I had a fire. Man, a fire would make me feel a whole lot better. It's cold, man. I want a fire." I would have never had one, but I wrote the vision. I went outside. I got the wood, I came in and started it, and now I'm beginning to enjoy the heat. It's not near what it's going to be in a few more minutes because it's growing, but I did my part. Now, somebody says, well, what can I do? First of all, read your vision every day, confess your vision every day, believe what it says, then do what you believe God instructs you to do. James chapter 2, I believe it's verse 17, says faith without corresponding actions is dead, being alone. Pat and I have been believing God to pay off a few bills, not big ones, but just a few that's been hanging around for a while. Plus, our pier down there fell in, and I've been believing to get it taken out, and I've been doing that for a long time. Well, here a week or so ago, I wrote it out. I mean, I wrote these things on my vision. Take out the pier, this needs to be paid, this needs to be paid, this needs to be paid. I wrote it out, and then the Lord spoke to me and told me how to go about doing what I needed to do. I want you to know the bills have already been paid. Well, I mean, they're in the mail. I don't know that they've actually cleared yet, but the bills have been paid. The Lord told me to call these people and ask them, and I did that. So I had some corresponding actions with what I was believing for. Now, I could have taken the little bit of money that the insurance company paid me because somebody pulled out in front of me and I totaled my car. I could have taken that money and bought me another pickup truck. Wouldn't have been nowhere close to a new one, but I could have bought me a pickup truck. But instead I thought, no, I'm going to do what's right, and I'm going to pay these little bills here that I've been owing for, you know, not a whole long time, but just do that. Well, when I began to do that, man, suddenly, I'm talking about things begin to happen in my behalf. Now, watch this. What else can I do? Read it daily, talk it daily, then praying in the Holy Ghost, praying in other tongues. I've been praying more in the Spirit than I've had in years, and believe God for God to give me the interpretation and show me what to do. So when I prayed, in fact, I could tell you a story that, well, I might just tell you what. I figured out in my mind how I could take, you know, the extra money, and Zoe's is moving back into the cottage down there, and she pays us a little bit of rent, and so I figured out, okay, watch this. I figured it out in my mind. The rent money, you know, plus If I get a new truck, gets a whole lot better gas mileage than my 2001 truck, I can save $200 a month in gas. So I can take that money and I can make a payment. For 6 or 7 years. And my mind had already figured out, you need a truck, dear God, you need a truck, and you can figure it out. No. I prayed in the Holy Ghost and asked the Lord what to do. He said, pay off all those bills and sow this seed over here. And I did. I mean, I hadn't actually sowed it, but I'm going to. It's in my heart. I've sowed it. Sow this seed. Help this brother. Help this brother over there in Atlanta. You do that. And I'll suddenly cause these other things to come to pass. So I did what God told me to do. I obeyed. So I prayed in the Holy Ghost, put my flesh to the side, and began to do what I believed God told me to do. And by doing that, God began to answer my prayers suddenly. Watch. By pushing the 2 buttons over there and putting the tea bag down in the cup and waiting on it to heat up. Didn't take but a couple of minutes. I'm enjoying what I did. Watch. Taking the kindling, starting the fire because I wanted one, doing what I wanted to get it, caused me to be able to enjoy the blessings of the fire this morning. Saints, get this. You're believing God for suddenlies? I am. Do what God told you to do. Obey the Spirit. Things will start happening for you because God's on your side. Hey, I got to go, saints. Enjoying my blessings. Enjoying the things of God. And suddenly, all the rest of it's going to come to pass. So until I'm with you tomorrow, hey, remember all day, Jesus is Lord. Thank God the Word works.